In this video, we will work on important ideas and we'll solve all problems of AMC 12A 2023. We will work on more than 30 ideas and I'll leave more than 10 homeworks. And before exam of AMC 12A, I released 4 videos exactly one day before the exam. I worked on more than 140 ideas and I left more than 45 homeworks. If you saw that video, you will understand that many problems are same. Many ideas. For example, double counting, we work on that, and again in this exam we will work on double counting considering small examples, and some problems like double counting were so much similar to the problem here we have like last year, like for AMC 2022. If we work on important ideas, some ideas are repeated every year. Caseworks concerning small examples, and some other topics, Pythagorean theorem, sine law, cosine law, important ideas in regular hexagon, regular octagon. If you learn those 40-50 important background ideas in combinatorics, algebra, number theory, and geometry, if you want to learn them, you can prepare for AME, USAMO, USAJMO, AMC, IMO. If you want to prepare for any math exam, you should learn these 40-50 important ideas. If you want to learn them, feel free to send a message to my WhatsApp number in the description. Okay, this problem is first problem of AMC 10A 2023 and 12A 2023. Let's read. So cities A and B are 45 miles apart. Alicia lives in A and Beth lives in B. Alicia bikes towards B. Okay, so let's draw. A is here, B is here, and Alicia bikes towards B at 18 miles per hour. Leaving at the same time, Beth bikes towards A at 12 miles per hour. Okay. And how many miles from city A will they be when they meet? Okay. Because which of them is faster? B. So we will see something at some points like this. In these types of problem, let me tell you. First idea is using this formula. When you have a speed, this formula, by only using this formula, you can solve many problems in AMC 8, AMC 10, and so on. Okay, so here we consider, because it says how many miles from city A will they be when they meet, you consider this one as x. Okay, and this one will be what? 45 minus x. And because they leave at the same time, and when they reach here, their times are equal. Time 1 equal times 2. So t is what? D over v by using this formula. V is the speed, velocity, d distance, t time. d1 over v1. t2 is d2 over v2. Okay, d1 is what? d1 is for example, a. Is x over speed of a is what? 12. d2 is what? Is 45 minus x. v2 speed of b is what? 18. Okay, now we should find x. If we multiply both sides by 6, here it will be 2, here it will be 3. If we cross multiply 3x equals 90 minus 2x, okay, then we take 2x to left hand side, 5x equals 90. Oh, sorry, here. Alicia here is 18. Okay, so let's change this 18 on 12. Okay, 18, 12. If we multiply by 6, it will be 3, it will be 2. If we cross multiply 2x equals 3 times 45, 135, minus 3x. If we take it to the left hand side, 5x equals 135. And if we divide by 5x equals 235, 7. So the answer is choice E. And we have homework from AMC 10 problems related to speed. I should search exact problem is what. If you want to know the homework exactly is what, or want to prepare for next part AMC B, or want to know 40-50 important ideas, feel free to send a message my WhatsApp number. This problem was first problem of AMC 10A 2023 and AMC 12A 2023. Okay, problem 2, second problem of AMC 10A and 12A. It's a common problem. The weight of 1/3 of a large pizza together with 3 1/2 cups of orange slices is the same as the weight 3/4 of a large pizza together with 1/2 cup of orange slices. A cup of orange slices weighs 1/4 of a pound. What is the weight in pounds of a large pizza? Okay, so we consider pizza as P and orange as O. So if you want to write 1/3 P over 3, or 1/3 of P plus 3 1/2 of O is the same as weight of 3 over 4 times P plus 1 over 2 times O. Okay, and it says O is what? Is 1 over 4. And we want to find P. Okay. Here we can say 3 over 4 minus 1 over 3, 3 1/2. You can say 3 times 2, 6, plus 1, 7. So 7 over 2, O equals minus 1 over 2O. Here for P it will be 3 over 4 minus 1/3. 3 over 4 minus 1/3 P. Okay, 7 over 2O minus 1 over 2O is 6 over 2 is 3O. If we use common denominator, 12, 9 minus 4, which will be what? 9 minus 4 is 5, P. Okay? And then we can say what? We know that O is 1 over 4 is 3 over 4. We can multiply both sides by 4 is 3. So P is 9 over 5, which is 1 and 4 over 5. So the answer will be choice A. Okay, if you had any question, feel free to send message to my WhatsApp number if you want to learn other ideas. Okay, AMC 10A 2023 and 12A 2023, problem 3. How many positive perfect squares less than 23 are divisible by 5? So it means what? A perfect square that is divisible by 5, you can write it as 5. For example, k whole squared less than or equal 2023. So 25k squared less than or equal 2023. Now we can divide both sides by 25. So 202 will be 8. And 2 will be left 23, 80 point something. Okay, so k is at most what? 9 times 9, 81. So 8 times 8, 64. Okay, so the answer is choice A, 8. Because k can be from 1 because it says positive. Let me tell you idea 2 and also homework 2. Idea 2 is when you want to hear 80 was easy. But if you want to take a square root, it has a strategy. And I said this is strategy. For example, when you want to say 2023 from right, you divide digits 2 by 2. Then you say 4, 4, 16. Then you say 4, 2, 3. And then you multiply this by 8, by 2, 4 times 2. And here it will be 4. Okay, so it should be greatest one that is less than or equal 4, 2, 3. 4, 4, 16. And we have 1, 4, 8, 32, plus 1, 33. If you place 5, it will be greater. So it is 44 point something. Okay, so if you want to learn completely this idea, because we should work on some problems, you understand this idea better, to taking square roots. It is so much fast. In AMC as homework too. One problem of AMC 2022. And one part of that, when you want to approximate, you should use same thing. Okay, if you want to learn this idea completely, know exact homework is what, or learn 40, 50 important ideas, feel free to send message to my WhatsApp number. AMC 12A 2023, how many digits are in the base 10 representation of 8 to the 5 times 5 to the 10 times 15 to the 5? Okay, this idea for solving this problem, you should pay attention that for digits, 10 is 2 times 5. Also, when we want to find, for example, how many zeros do we have at the end of the number, we use this idea by Legendre's formula. Okay, it is what? It is, for example, if p is prime, if you want to find power of p in n factorial, the formula is n over p floor of that plus n over p squared, and so on. Okay, and if you want to know the reason, as I said, feel free to send message to my WhatsApp number. Okay, for this part, a to the 5 is 2 cubed to the 5 times 5 to the 10 times 15. Instead of 15, we can write what? 5 times 3 to the 5. So it will be 2 to the 15 times 5 to the 10 times 5 to the 5 times 3 to the 5. So it's 2 to the 15 times 5 to the 15 times 3 to the 5. Now we know 2 to the 5, 15 times 5 to the 15 is 10 to the 15 times 3 to the 5. 3 to the 5 is what? 3 to the 4 is 81. 3 to the 5, 3 times that, 2, 4, 3. And then we have 15 zeros. Okay, so 15 plus 1, 16, 17, 18. So here we can say we have 18 digits, so the answer will be choice E. Also, we have a homework from AMC that can be solved with Legendary's formula, and these things, okay? If you want to learn that, as I said before, feel free to send a message to my WhatsApp number. Okay, AMC 12A 2023, problem 5. Janet rolls a standard 6-sided die 4 times and keeps a running total of the numbers she rolls. What is the probability that at some point her running total will equal to 3? Okay, if it's, here we should use casework. Idea 5, again, I told this idea before exam, casework. If you see my videos before the exam, I said this idea, and also I solved problem with this idea. If you saw that video, exactly this problem is the same. So if you want to reach totals equal 3 in first step, if we reach 3, if in second step we reach 3, we have 1, 2, 2, 1. If in third step we reach 3, 1, 1, 1. Okay, so the probability that first one is 3 is 1 over 6. The probability of this one is 1 over 36. This one 1 over 36. This one 1 over 260. Let me tell you after this another solution. So here let's add all these numbers first. If we use common denominator 216, the first one is 36, second one 6, third one 6 plus 1. So 36 plus 6, 42, 48, 49. 49 over 216. So the answer is choice B. And let me tell you another solution. So here you say, okay, if the first one is 3, you divide good cases by all cases. 1, 2, 2, 1. It is similar, a bit different. 1, 1, 1. Number of good cases over all cases. Here, how many cases are there? 3. This 6, 6. 36 cases. This one 6 cases. This one 6 cases. This one 1 case. So you say all cases equal to 216. It will be 36 plus 6 plus 6 plus 1. Again, we will reach same answer, 49 over 216. And as I said, the correct choice is B. Okay, if you want to prepare for B like this one, there are some ideas, important ideas, 40, 50 important ideas in each topic. If you want to learn them, feel free to send message to my WhatsApp number in the description. AMC 12A 2023, problem 6, points A and B lie on the graph of y equals log x to the base 2. The midpoint of AB is 6, 2. What is the positive difference between the x coordinates of A and B? Okay, so look, A and B, suppose for example the first one is x1, y1. y1 equals log 2 of x1. y2 equals log x2 to the base 2. Now here, midpoint of AB is what? Let's consider this point M. M is x1 plus x2 over 2. And y1 plus y2 over 2. It is equal to what? 6, 2. So we can conclude x1 plus x2 is what? Is 6 times 2, 12. So it is related to coordinate geometry, this part. Let me tell you idea 6. For example, midpoint. Again, before exam, I said some important thing about coordinate geometry before the exam. If you see my videos, you can see that how we can solve these types of problems. y1 plus y2 equals what? 2 times 2, 4. Okay. Now, the problem says what? So we know y1, y2 plus y2 equals what? Log 2 x1 plus log 2 x2. Again, before the exam, I said this rule. Rules in logarithm before the exam. And I said also this idea that you will see this in the exam. Okay, if you saw my videos before the exam, it was so much helpful. Now, here we can say log 2 of x1, x2 equals 4. And I said the definition is what? It means what? It means that 2 to the 4 is what? Is x1, x2. So x1, x2 is 2 to the 4, which is 16. Now we have what? We know x1 plus x2 equals 12. x1, x2 equals 16. Okay? And we know what? x1 and x2 should be positive because when we draw, also I drew the graph. If you draw the graph, it will be something like this for log 2 of x. Okay? So x can be only positive. Now here it says the positive, what's the positive difference between the x coordinate of a and b? x1 minus x2. Here, two equations, two variables, we can use a lot of things, a lot of ways. For example, so here, we can use quadratic formula, or we can say what? We can say the easiest way. We say x2 is 12 minus x1. You replace it here, it will be x1 times 12 minus x1 equals 16. So negative 12, let's write it. 12x1 minus x1 squared equals 16. If you take all things to right hand side, x1 squared minus 12x1 plus 16 equals 0. So if we use the quadratic formula, again, I told you before the exam, you should pay attention to properties of quadratic formula. It will be what? x1 equals 12 plus minus square root of b squared, 12 squared minus 4 times ac over 2. So it will be 6 plus minus, you should divide inside square root by 4. It will be 6 squared, 36 minus 16. So it will be 6 plus minus root 20. Okay, if you calculate x2 also, it will be same thing. So x1, x2 will be 6 plus minus root 20. And as you can see, sum of them 20, product of them 36 minus 20, 16. So x1 minus x2 is what? The common difference, the positive difference. It will be 6 plus root 20 minus 6 minus root 20. So 6 and negative 6 will be cancelled. It will be 2 root 20. We're going to write 20 as 2 root 5. So it will be 4 root 5. And again, before the exam, I said the important properties. I released videos in 4 parts: number theory, combinatorics, and algebra and geometry. If you saw them, I told all these ideas. Okay, so the answer is which choice? 4 root 5, choice B. If you want to learn other ideas, you can send message to my WhatsApp number. AMC 12A 2023 problem 7. A digital display shows the current date as an 8-digit integer consisting of a 4-digit year, followed by a 2-digit month, followed by a 2-digit date within the month. For example, Arbor Day this year is displayed as 2023-04, 4th month, 28th day. For how many days in 2023 does each digit appear an even number of times in the 8-digit display for that date? Okay, so here idea 9 is you should know in each month we have how many days. And the idea that here we should use is casework. Using casework before the exam, I said this idea useful and we solved some problems from previous years. Okay, and the next idea that also I said, idea 8, idea 9, before the exam is consider the most limited case. Okay, and I will tell you how we can do that. Again, I told you before the exam. Let's solve this problem together. Okay, so we have 2023 and we have these parts, 4 digits. We have two 2's, 1013, so we need at least 10 and at least 13. So the number of 0 and 3 can be 1331 or 11. 13 not possible because you can't have 3 here, and if you can't have 3 here, if you want to use for all of them, then it will be 33 for the day. So this one is bad. If we have 3 zeros, we cannot have, for example, 0 in this part. Let me tell you, we cannot have 2 zeros here. Also, we cannot have 2 zeros here. At most 1 0 here, 1 0 here. So we cannot have 3 zeros. Okay, so 1 0 1 3. Now I consider the cases of 0. Okay, 0 is in which digit? Okay, the first case is 0 is here. Okay, if 0 is here, then we can say what? We can have, for example, if we have 1 here, 0, 1. Then we have 1, 3, because we have 1, 3, 1, 0. Then 3 and the next digit is 1. 13 and 31. Both of them possible because in first month we have 31 days. So 2 cases, okay? Second one. Let's consider this one was 1, this one 2. If it is 2, we can have 23, 32. 32 not possible, only 23, 1. If you have 3 here, then we should have same digits. And it cannot be 0 or 3, so the only possible case is 1, 1 and 2, 2. So how many cases? 2 cases. Now second case. If 0 is here, then we focus on 3. I said the most limited one. Place the place of 3. If 3 is here, it's not possible. If 3 is here, let's see what are the cases. So if we have 3 here, we should place same digits, okay? Only 1 and 1. So 10th month, 31 days. It is okay. If 3 is here, 0, again 1, 1. Okay, 2, 2 not possible. 1, 1. So again, we have how many cases? 1 case here. Okay, 2 cases. Now let's consider 0 in the third place. Okay, again, if 0 is here, 3 cannot be here, 3 cannot be here, 3 can only be here, okay? So, because 3 is here, we can say what? We can say, okay, we should have same digits. The only possible case is what? 1, 1, okay? So, 1 case and last part, fourth case. If 0 is in the last part, 3 can be here. Can 3 be here? Let's check. This one and this one. 13 or 0, 3 is not possible because we said we have 1, 0, so 3 here. So same digits, 1, 1. So 1 possible case here. Okay, so 1 plus 1, 2, 3, 4. And 6, 7, 9. So the answer is choice E. Okay, if you want to prepare for AMC 10B, 12B, want to learn 40, 50 important ideas, feel free to send message to my WhatsApp number in the description. Okay. AMC 12A 2023 problem 8. Maureen is keeping track of the mean of her quiz scores this semester. Okay, let me tell you. Here I've told you. Here it was 10. And idea 11. Idea 11 is what? Is that when you want to solve this problem, and that, for example, is related to average, mean, or something like this, pay attention to sum. Okay, when you have average, pay attention to sum and number. Okay, the average is sum over number, k. It says if Marin scores an 11 on the next quiz, her mean will increase by 1. So now sum is s, number is k. If it takes 11 on next one, so k plus 1 exam, it will be s over k plus what? Plus 1. Because our mean here is this one. Her mean will be increased by 1. Next score is 11. So sum will be increased by 11 and number of quizzes will be increased by 1. Next one. If she scores an 11 on each of the next 3 quizzes. Okay. The average will be what? Sum will be 11 plus 11 plus 11. Number of quizzes will be increased by 3 because next 3 quizzes. It says her mean will increase by 2. S over k plus 2. And it says what is the mean of her quiz scores currently? S over k is what? For this problem, for first one, we multiply. We try to get rid of. At first, let's use common denominator. S plus k over k. And for this one also, we write s plus 2k over k. Okay, for first one, if we cross multiply, let me write s plus 11 over k plus 1 over equals s plus k over k. If we cross multiply, it will be s plus 11 times k equals k plus 1 times s plus k. So it will be sk plus 11k equals sk plus k squared plus s plus k. Now we subtract sk from both sides. So 11k minus k, if we subtract k from both sides, 10k equals k squared plus s, our first equation. Next one, s plus 11, 11, 11, s plus 33 over k plus 3 equals s plus 2k over k. Now if we cross multiply s plus 33 times k equals s plus 2k times k plus 3. Then we can say sk plus 33k equals sk plus 3s plus 2k squared plus 6k. If we subtract sk from both sides, then 33k, 6k, and it will be what? 27k equals 3s plus, or let's write 2k squared plus 3s. Second one. Okay. Now if you use first one, second one, let's write first one here, 10k equals k squared plus s. Second one is 27k equals 2k squared plus 3s. I want to find k over s, so I multiply this one by 2, then coefficient. I want to get rid of k squared. I multiply this by 2 and then subtract. It will be 20k equals 2k squared plus 2s. And then if we subtract this minus this is 7k, 2k squared will be cancelled, 3s minus 2s is s. Okay, so if you divide both sides by k, s over k is 7. So the average is 7. Will be which choice? Will be choice D. Okay, if you want to learn other ideas, as I said, 40, 50 important ideas, feel free, that are useful in AMC, like many ideas that here you saw that before exam I released them, those ideas. Send message to my WhatsApp number. Okay, this problem is question 11 of AMC 10A 2023 and problem 9 of AMC 12A 2023. It says a square of area 2 is inscribed in a square of area 3, creating 4 congruent triangles. Okay, so here is square root of 2 because area is 3 and this length is the square root of 3. This is what is the ratio of the shorter leg to the longer leg in the shaded right triangle. So we can consider this one x because they are congruent. This one will be x. This one will be root 3 minus x. Now we should use Pythagorean theorem. Before the exam I said that. Idea 11, if we consider this one. Okay, because it is common problem, Let me write like this, Pythagorean theorem. And also I said before exam double Pythagorean theorem. That was useful in AMC 2022. Here we don't need double Pythagorean theorem. We need only Pythagorean theorem, and I said before the exam that this theorem is useful. Okay, in my videos, exactly one day before the exam. So x squared plus root 3 minus x squared equals root 2 squared. So it will be x squared plus 3 plus x squared minus 2 root 3x equals 2. If we simplify, it will be 2x squared plus minus 2 root 3x. 3 minus 2, 1 equals 0. Now we should use quadratic formula again. Before exam I said quadratic formula useful, also important properties about quadratic equation. Again before the exam. Now x is what? Negative 2 root 3 is 2 root 3 plus minus. This one is squared, which is 12 minus 4ac minus 8. Over what? Over 2a, which is 4. So it will be 2 root 3 plus minus 2 over 4. So it will be root 3 plus minus 1 over 2. One of the answer is 4 because x and root 3 minus x in this equation is similar. One of them root 3 plus 1 over 2, one of them root 3 minus 1 over 2. It says what? Shorter leg to the longer leg. So the answer will be shorter leg is root 3 minus 1 over 2 to longer leg root 3 plus 1 over 2. We can cancel these twos. Root 3 minus 1, root 3 plus 1. And now we should rationalize. It will be root 3 minus 1, root 3 minus 1. Denominator will be root 3 squared 3 minus 1. This one will be root 3 minus 1 whole squared, which will be 3 plus 1 minus 2 root 3 over 2, which will be 4 minus 2 root 3 over 2, which will be 2 minus root 3. Okay, so our answer is this, which is choice C. Okay, if you had any question, you can send message to my WhatsApp number in the description if you want to learn 40-50 important ideas and formulas in geometry and other topics. Okay. AMC 12A 2023, problem 10. Positive real numbers x and y satisfy y cubed equals x squared and y minus x squared equals 4y squared. What is x plus y? So, idea 14, this problem, you should pay attention to one of the things that is good. And also we have a homework from this idea. Let me see how many homeworks have I told you. Homework. It will be, I think, we don't have any homework here. Let's see. Homework 3. So homework 4, same thing. When you have, for example, when in the equation we see a squared b squared, you should reach that, you should consider a equals plus minus b. An AMC problem that also I released before the exam, we had a problem related to coordinate geometry and we wanted to calculate area. You should use exactly same thing. Okay, before the exam, I released a problem. We could solve it with same idea. Okay, now here from this one we can say y minus x is plus minus 2y. So we have two cases. Y minus x equals 2y. So let's write it like this. 1y minus x equals 2y, or y minus x equals negative 2y. So from here, if we take this to right hand side, this to left hand side, right hand side will be x, left hand side negative y. So because they both of them are positive, this case is not possible. For this case, if we take x here, 2y here, 3y equals x. Okay, and we know y cubed equals x squared. And x is what? 3y. So if we replace 3y, 9y squared. So then if we divide both sides by y squared, then y equals 9. And the problem says xy are what? X equals 3y, which is 27. So x plus y will be what? Will be 36, which is choice D. Okay. If you want to solve more problems like this and want to solve this, want to know exact problem is what, feel free to send message to my WhatsApp number in the description, or if you want to learn 40, 50 important ideas. AMC 12A 2023 problem 11. What is the degree measure of the acute angle formed by angle with slopes 2 and 1/3? For this problem, I told an idea, important idea before the exam. It was what? Tan alpha plus beta equals tan alpha plus tan beta over 1 minus tan alpha tan beta. And another idea that I said was what? Was tan negative alpha equals negative tan alpha. Now, here, when we want to consider the angle between these two things, I told before the exam, okay, this idea. Now, the slope here is 2. For example, this one is 1/3. We want to find this angle. Okay, we call this one alpha, this angle beta. So, because it is exterior angle, this one, for example, it is theta. Theta is alpha minus beta, because in this triangle, alpha equals this plus this, because it's exterior angle. Now, I want to find tan theta. Then I can find theta. I want to find theta is what? So, if I calculate tan theta, then it will be tan alpha minus beta. And it will be, if you use this formula, tan alpha plus tan negative beta, which is negative tan beta, over 1 plus tan alpha tan beta. Tan alpha is what? Is 100. The next idea is that tan equals slope equal tan of the angle it creates with right side of x-axis. Okay, for example, the slope is s. S is tan alpha. So here tan alpha is 2, here 1/3. 2 minus 1/3, 1 plus 2 times 1/3, which is 2/3. We multiply both numerator and denominator by 3, it will be 6 minus 1, and 3 plus 2. So it will be 5 over 5, which is 1. Because tan theta is 1, we know the angle that tangent of that is 1 is 45. Okay, in this part, let's see how many homework 4. Homework 5, we have AMC problem exactly with same idea. It was related to, for example, we have angle bisector, the slope is k, something like that, and you should find the equation of this line, something related to this, or you should find k. I should check if you want to know, and there are lots of other problems that you can solve with trigonometry. If you want to know exact problem is what, or 40, 50 important ideas, formulas in each topic, feel free to send message to my WhatsApp number. Okay, AMC 12A 2023, problem 12. Here I set some ideas. Idea 14, let's write it. Idea 15, idea 16, and idea 17. So here it will be idea 18. Before the exam, I said an important idea, 1 cubed, 2 cubed to n cubed. Before AMC, exactly 2 days, 1 day or 2 days before AMC, this identity and this identity. This problem has 2 solutions. One solution is by using the first identity. One solution is by using second identity. I solve it with first one, and you can use second one and reach another solution. Okay, so solution 1 is what? I say, okay, suppose it is A. So I define A as what? 1 cubed, 2 cubed. So I write minus 1 cubed plus 2 cubed, 3 cubed, 18 cubed. Then negative 1 is okay, but for 2, we have 2 times 2 cubed plus 4 cubed plus 6 cubed to 18 cubed. Okay, now if we use this identity, it will be negative 18 times 19 over 2 whole squared plus 2 times Here we will factor from 2 cubed, so 2 cubed times 2, 8 times 2, 16. Here it will be 1 cubed plus 2 cubed, 2 what 9 cubed. So it will be negative 18 over 2, 9 times 19 squared plus 16 times 9 times 10 over 2 squared. So it will be negative 9 times 19 will be 9 times 19 is 81. We have 8. 9 times 1 plus 870. 171 squared. Okay. Plus 16 over 4 is what? 4. It's 4 times 90 squared. Now we can say it is 171 squared plus 2 times 9, 180 squared. 180 minus, so we can use again idea 20, which I said before the exam. A squared minus b squared, and also I said for general n it is what? A minus b times a plus b. Okay, for n also I said before exactly 1 day or 2 days before the exam. So it will be 180 minus 171 times 180 plus 171. And the problem wants what? This one is what? 180 minus 179 times 1, 8, 15, 3. So it will be 9. 9 times 5, 45. We have 4. 9 times 3, 27. Plus 4, 31. So the answer is 3159. Choice D. Okay. The second solution is you should use this identity. Identity a cubed minus b cubed. Okay, let me. Okay, this is for AMC 12. Idea 19, idea 20, idea 21. Idea 21, you should use a and b, and for a cubed minus b cubed, which is a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. Okay, if we use this identity, you can reach solution 2. And again, I told this one before the exam. Okay, you can reach another solution and do this one as homework. How many homeworks do we have? Homework 5, homework 6. Okay, if you want to learn other identities that are important in AMC, AME, USAML, and other exams, or 40, 50 important formulas, feel free to send a message. My WhatsApp number in the description. Okay, this problem is AMC 10A, problem 16, and AMC 12A, 2023, problem 13. It says in a table tennis tournament, every participant plays every other participant exactly once, although there were twice as many right-handed players as left-handed players. The number of games won by left-handed players was 40% more than the number of games won by right-handed players. There were no ties and no ambidextrous players. And what is the total number of games played? Okay. So here, suppose it says number of there were twice as many right-handed. Okay, so as left-handed. So R equals 2L. And we can say what? We can say, okay, it is R, which is 2L. It is L. Number of games equals what? And N is R plus L. Okay, number of players. What is the total number of games played? It will be N choose 2. Okay, because each 2 player plays exactly once. Here the problem says. N is R plus L. We want to find N choose 2. So let's calculate each choice. And we know R is 2L, so 2L plus L, 3L. For choice A, if it is equal to N choose 2, N choose 2 is N times N minus 1 over 2. So for choice A, N times N minus 1 over 2 is 15. So n times n minus 1 is 30. And n is integer. So positive integer. N is what? N is 6. Okay, for first one, n is 6. For choice B. And we cannot reject this because 6 is multiple of 3. For choice B, n times n minus 1 over 2 is 36. So it is a necessary condition, not sufficient. N times n we want to see, we can reject with choices. N times n minus 1, 72. 9 times 8, 72. So n is 9. Let's check choice C. N times n minus 1 over 2 is 45. And let me tell you, number of games played in this part, in graph, we can call it idea 19, idea 20, 21, 22. Okay, these parts. In graphs, we have this idea. In tournament, we have n choose 2 games. So this one is n times n minus 1 equals 90. So n equals 10. But this one doesn't work because n should be 3l. So we could reject choice C. For choice D, n times n minus 1 over 2 is 48. So n times n minus 1 is 96. It's not possible because if you consider, for example, 10, let me check. For 96, for example, if we check 15 or 11, 11 times 12, or let's check here. 11 times 12, or let's write 12 times 11 over 2 is what? Is 66. Okay, so it is greater. 11 times 10 over 2 is 5, 45. So this one is 45. Next one, two consecutive triangular numbers. Here we call these numbers triangular numbers. 48 is between these two consecutive triangular numbers, which we can conclude there is no n. So we can reject choice D now. Last one, 66. Okay. For choice E, 66, n times n minus 1 over 2 is 66. So by considering this, we can consider n equals 12. Okay, so here n equals 12. And here n equals 9. Here n equals 6. Something, sorry. Let's say 12. No, that's okay. Now let's see which one is possible. It says number of games won by left was 40% more than the number of games won by right-handed players. Okay, so W, let's see, won by left-handed was 40%. Okay, WL is 1 plus 40% times WR. Okay, and we know WL plus WR equals W number of games. For example, look, when we have 3 things, if we consider winnings of all players, we calculate each game once from the winning part, from the winner. So W equals n choose 2. And we can say, okay, it is 1.4 WR. So if we replace WL is 1.4 WR plus WR, it will be 2.4 WR. It will be what? It will be 24 over 10 WR. So n choose 2 is 12 over 5 WR. If we multiply both sides by 5, 5 times n choose 2 equals 12 WR. So we can conclude 12 divides 5 times n choose 2, and by Euclid's lemma, I told Euclid's lemma before the exam, idea 22, idea 23. Euclid's lemma. I told this one before the exam. It's an obvious lemma. If A divides BC and GCD of A and B is 1, then A divides C. Okay. So 12 and 5 are relatively prime, so by Euclid's lemma you can say 12 divides n choose 2. Now we want to see which choice is multiple of 12. Not A, not E. So the answer is 36. Okay. Now let me tell you example for this 36. For this one, n is 9. Okay, so because n is 9, L will be what? L will be 3 because it's real. Here 6. We have 6 right-handed, 3 left-handed. Let's write like this. And 3 left-handed. And here we consider, okay, it's like this one. It is not important between them. It is what, but we consider all edges between them from this part to this part. When we consider this one, A wins B. Okay. Now I want to say this example works. How? Here we know, for example, this one is right-handed equals 6, left-handed equals 3, WL equals 1, 2, 3, 3 edges here, plus 3 times 6, 18, 21. WR is what? 6 choose 2 because each game here has one winner. Is 6 choose 2, which is 15. And now I want to say 21 is 1 plus 40% times 15. Let's see, is it correct or not? 1.4 times 15, which is 14 over 10 times 15. We can cancel 2 by here, 7, and 5 by here, 3, 21. We will see it's correct, okay? We wanted to check this, and this example works, okay? You don't need to find this example. If it was for example, use some full solution exam, you have to find an example. Maybe also we have some other answers except 36, but if you consider the choices, 36 only possible. Okay, if you had question or wanted to learn more things, like this one, important ideas in number theory, Euclid's lemma, and many multiplicative inverse, many important ideas, 40, 50 important ideas in each topic, feel free to send message to my WhatsApp number in the description. AMC 12A 2023 problem 14. How many complex numbers satisfy the equation z to the 5 equals z conjugate, where z conjugate is the conjugate of the complex number z. Okay, for these types of problem that we have power, important idea is to use polar 4. Also, we have problems in AMC that can be solved with this idea, AMC 2022. Also, we have problem in AMI that you should use polar 4. Polar 4 means what? We consider z equals REI theta. Okay, which in complex force we can say, okay, it is theta. This length is r, so z is this. Now z conjugate will be what? The angle will be negative theta. And the length is r. So we can say the first one is r to the 5. E to the 5 I theta. If z is ri theta, if we raise it to the power of 5, it will be this. Z conjugate will be what? R times e to the negative I theta. Now, I want to divide both sides by r. But always, when you want to divide by 0, you should pay attention. A shouldn't be 0, or we should consider two cases. Case 1, this. Case 2, if A is 0. Here, we should do the same thing. R 0, one case, and we will say, okay, we have one answer when R is 0, Z is 0. Okay, one answer here. Now, consider R is not 0. Then we can divide both sides of this by R. So r to the 4, e to the 5 I theta equals e to the negative I theta. We have two complex numbers. The length of two sides should be equal. So r to the 4 should be equal to 1. So r is a real number and positive. Okay, because r is not 0 and r is not negative because it's length of this part. So from here we can conclude r plus minus 1, but only plus 1 is positive, so we can conclude e to the 5 I theta equals e to the negative I theta. We multiply both sides by e to the negative I theta. Let's check. E to the I theta. Then left hand side will be e to the 6 I theta equals 1. So 6 I theta will be what? will be 360 degree times k. So we can conclude what 6 theta, because it should be 1. So theta is from 0 to 360 degree. It can be 0. Let's divide first by 6. Let's divide first both sides by 6. So theta is 60 degree k. Okay, so k is integer. K can be from 0 to at most 5, because if it is 6, 6 times 6 is 360, it will be 0 again. So here we have 6 answers. Here we have 1 answer, so 1 plus 6, 7 answers, okay? So the answer is choice E. If you want to solve more problems with this idea, polar form, or want to learn other ideas in algebra and other topics, feel free to send message to our WhatsApp number in the description. Also, before AMC 12 and 10, I released some problems. We worked on similar ideas, okay? If you want to learn those background ideas, you can send message to our WhatsApp number. AMC 12A 2023, problem 15. Usain is walking for exercise by zigzagging across a 100 meter by 30 meter rectangular field. So this one is 30. This one is 100 DC. And beginning at point A and ending on the segment BC. Here, like this one, this one, this one, this one. Okay, now let's consider the rest. He wants to increase the distance walked by zigzagging as shown in the figure below. APQRS. What angle theta equals PAB, this one, and QPC, this one, RQB, this one, and so on, will produce a length that is 120 meters. The figure is not drawn to scale. Don't assume that the zigzag has exactly 4 segments as shown. It could be more or fewer. Okay. So for this problem, this theta, we want to find length. It goes up, down, up, down. So for example, we know sine theta for all of them equals 30. 30 over hypotenuse, okay? Now, for example, if this length is d1, d2, if we draw these right angles, because as you can see, it's arc, cosine, arc, sine. So we draw these right angle triangles. Okay, we know, for example, d1 sine theta is what? Is 30, or for all of them, di sine theta is 30. Okay, you cannot have, but we can say this one is d1 cos theta. This length is d2 cos theta. This length, if we call this one d3, d3 cos theta. This one is d4 cos theta. And so on, because it says maybe it's more or fewer. So we know d1 cos theta. We split 100 into horizontal length into smaller cases, plus d2 cos theta, plus d3 cos theta, for example, to dn cos theta. We know this length equals what? 100, because this length is 100 from assumption of the problem. So we can say what? We can say 100, we can factor from cos theta. It will be d1 plus d2 plus d3 to dn. The problem says this is equal to 120. So 100 equals 120 cos theta. We can divide both sides by 10. So cos theta equals 10 over 12. We can cancel 2. It will be 5 over 6. So theta will be what then? Arc cosine 5 over 6. Okay. When you have vectors, one important idea when you have vectors or something like that, split it into horizontal part and vertical part. Okay, for example, di, xi, and y. This idea is useful in also many combinatorics problems. If you want to learn more ideas in combinatorics and other topics, feel free to send message my WhatsApp number in the description. This problem was combination of, we can say, combinatorics and algebra and geometry. Okay, arc cosine 5 over 6, so the answer is choice A. Arc cosine 5 over 6. AMC 12A 2023, problem 16. Consider a set of complex numbers z satisfying norm of 1 plus z squared, or length of this equals 4. Maximum value of the imaginary part of z can be written in the form root m over n, where m and n are relatively prime positive integers. What is m plus n? Okay, so 1 plus z squared is what? Is z cubed minus. Let me tell you, we can multiply it by z minus 1 by using which identity? A cubed minus b cubed equals this identity I told for general n before the exam. A minus b, a squared plus ab plus b squared. So z minus 1 times this equals z cubed minus 1. The roots of z cubed minus 1 is what? Z cubed minus 1 equals 0, z cubed equals 1. So we can consider unit circle. And when we consider this part, then it will be this one. Let's consider 120, 240, and this one. Okay, we have these three parts. Okay, now, for example, we can call it omega and this one omega squared. So, we can say z cubed minus 1 is z minus 1. The roots are what? Z minus omega squared. And as you can see, z minus 1 can be cancelled. So, norm of 1 plus z squared equals z minus omega times z minus omega squared. And we can easily prove that when we have this part, for example, absolute value of AB, if AB are complex numbers, or let's write, for example, z1, z2, length of that by using polar form. We can say it's length of z1 times length of z2. So it's length of z minus w times length of z minus w squared. Okay, another idea. Now, we know this one is 4. This one is constant. We want to maximize imaginary of z. Okay, now, this is what length of z, let me move it to this part, for example. Okay, let's consider, for example, we have a point z here, z minus this part, or let me write general form z here. Product of these two distances equal to 4. Okay, now, we can say what? X coordinate of these two things are equal. W is what? Is 1/2 because it is 120 degrees. So 60 degrees, so 30 degrees, 1/2 plus root 3 over 2i. And the omega squared equals 1/2 minus root 3 over 2i. Okay, if we change z, we draw a perpendicular here, for example, z prime. Okay, we know that z prime minus omega times z prime minus omega squared is less than or equal. Equality holds when z equals z prime. Z minus w times z minus omega squared equals 4. Okay, so if z is not on this line, z prime, this product is less than 4. Then you can move z prime to a, for example, point here. So imaginary part will be increased. Okay, for example, you can reach to z double prime, and as you can see, imaginary part of z double prime is better than z. So by this proof, without loss of generality, we can say the best z is z on this line, on this vertical line. Okay, so because if z is not on this vertical line, then you can find z prime, this we have less than 4. Then you can increase z prime imaginary part to reach this part, and if, for example, z was the good point. We reach contradiction because z double prime is better. Imaginary part of z double prime will be greater than z. Okay, so we can conclude z real part is -1 over 2. Sorry, here also we can say -1 over 2. Okay, so -1 over 2 plus bi. So if we consider this part in the assumption of the problem, 1 plus z squared. So 1 plus z squared, let's calculate z squared first. It will be -1/2 plus bi whole squared. It will be 1 over 4 minus bi plus bi squared, which will be minus b squared. So 1 plus z squared equals -1/2. Let's write 1 minus 1/2 plus bi plus 1/4 minus bi minus b squared. 1 minus 1/2 is 1/2 plus 1/4 is 3/4. We can cancel these two things and minus b squared. We know this length 3 over 4 minus b squared equals 4. Okay, so we can conclude what? We can conclude 3 over 4 minus b squared, because its real number length is itself 4 or -4. If it is 4, if we take it to left hand side, this one to right hand side, 3 over 4 minus 4 is b squared. So this one is negative, contradiction, this one. If we do the same thing, 3 over 4 plus 4 is b squared. So b squared equals 4 times 4, 16 plus 3, 19. So b is root 19 over 2. Okay, so here, root 19 over 2, so n plus n, 19 plus 2 is 21. Okay, if you want to solve more problems like this related to conjugates or something like that, feel free to send message. My WhatsApp number in the description. AMC 12A 2023 problem 17. Flora the frog starts at 0 on the number line and makes a sequence of jumps to the right. In any one jump independent of previous jumps, Flora leaps a positive integer distance and with probability 1 over 2 to the m. What is the probability that Flora will eventually land at 10? Okay, for this problem we should use a small example, considering small examples. Okay, so for first one the probability is 1. For second one, for reaching that, the probability is 1/2. For third one, if we want to reach from this one to this one, jump 2, it will be 1 times 1 over 2. For this one, it will be 1/2 times 1. So it will be what? This one will be 1 times the length is 2. If we jump, so it will be 2 squared. So 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 equals 1/2. Now if you check fourth one, again you will see it will be 1. Okay, now we want to solve it in general. If for example all of them we want to use induction up to, for example, n minus 1, it is 1/2. We want to see for nth one it is what? Okay, so this one the probability is 1. The next one the probability is 1/4. So it will be 1/2 times 1/2. And we can factor from 1/2. It will be 1/2 plus 1/4 plus 1/8, 2 cubed, to this one. N minus 2, 2 to the n minus 2, plus this one. 1 times 1/2 to the n minus 1. Okay, we want to see this probability will be what? Here, we can factor from 1/2, it will be 1/4, it will be 1 plus 1/2 to 1 over 2 to the n minus 3, plus 1 over 2 to the n minus 1. And here, let's see, we can factor from 1/4 for this one also. So it will be 1/4, 1 plus 1/2, plus 1 2 squared, plus 1 2 over 2 to the n to the 4, plus 1 over 2 to the n minus 3. If we factor from 4, it will be 1 over 2 to the n minus 3. Now, This sum will be 2 times this 1 over 2 to the n minus what? N minus 2. Sorry. When we multiply by 2, n minus 3 minus 1, n minus 4. So this one will be 2 times this 1 over 2 to the n minus 5. Up to this part, it will be 1 over 2 to this one. It should be subtracted by 1 to the 1. 1 over 2 to the 0 or 1 over 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So it will be 2 over 4, which is 1. Okay. So we proved also by some of geometric series, you can prove it. So we proved it is 1/2. So the answer is E. Before the exam, I told you this idea is so much important, and I solved many problems of USUMO 2023 by this idea as homework. I can tell you some of them and also other AMC problems. I said in many years of AMC, most of the years of the AMC aiming USUMO, it is the most useful idea. Okay, if you had question or wanted to learn more important ideas in combinatorics or other topics, feel free to send message to my WhatsApp number in the description. AMC 10A 2023, problem 22, and AMC 12A 2023, problem 18. It says circles C1 and C2 each have radius 1. These two circles. And then it says what? Okay. And the distance between two centers is 1/2 this one. Circle C3 is the largest circle internally tangent to both C1, C2. Here. Circle C4 is internally tangent to both C1 and C2 here, and externally tangent to C3. What is the radius of C4? Okay, so before solving this, let me tell you 2 points. Okay, one important point is that let me see, it will be which idea? Idea 27, 28. Idea 28 is an obvious idea. If we have a center, if we connect this, it will be 90 degree. And why it is useful? Because when you have two circles that are internally tangent, then you can say, okay, the centers and the common points are collinear. Okay, O1, O2. Why? Because if we draw a tangent, common tangent here, if you draw from O1 to this one, it is perpendicular, O2 to this one perpendicular. Two parallel lines, because they are perpendicular that have common point, then they lie on each other. Also, if you have two externally circles, then we have something like this. Let's try this one. Okay, suppose they are tangents like this. Again, by same idea, we can say O1 and O2 lie on each other. O1, O2, and this point, common points, are collinear. Okay. Now we want to use these points to find radius of C4. So at first, let's find radius of C1. We know what? We know O1 is here, O2 is here, and this point. By symmetry, we can consider that all points, all centers lie on this line, and O3 also lie here. Okay. Now we connect these 2 points, and we know what? We know this one is O3. Let me minimize O3, this point. Okay. At first, let's find radius of 3. R3 is what? Okay, R3, 2R3. Can we say it is what? Look, O1. This one is what? This one is 1 because of O1. And we know what? We know this part is R3. Okay, so this part is what? This part is 1 minus, or let's say we have this R3. We know this one is 1 Let me tell you in an easier way. Suppose here we can say it is 1/2, it is 1/4, 1/4 by symmetry. And we know this part is what? R3 minus 1/4. So this one is 1. 1 equals 1/4 plus 1/4, which is 1/2, plus R3 minus 1/4. So we can say what? 1 minus 1/2 plus 1/4. So it will be 3/4. R3 equals 3/4. Now we want to draw some lines. Here, if we connect O2 to this center, let's see what we have. Okay, so let me draw these circles. We know when we connect this one, O1 to O3, O2 for example. O3, I want to find this length. It will be what? This one is 1. This one is what? Here, O4. Is R4. Sorry. This one, let me erase this one. We know when you connect O4, it passes through this part, okay? So let me erase this one. It is O2, the whole part. Let me check. O2, and we have O4 here. Okay, let me consider this one. And we connect O2 to O4. Now let's see what happens. This length is 1. This length is R4. So this length is 1 minus R4. Okay? Because this is radius of 1. This one is radius R4. So O2, O4 is 1 minus R4. Now we know O2, O4 squared plus O4, O3 squared. O2, O4. If we use Pythagorean theorem, O2, O4 squared equals O2, O3 squared plus O3, O4 squared. Okay? O2, O4 is what? 1 minus R4 whole squared. O2, O3 is what? Is 1/4. And O3, O4 is what? Is R3 plus R4. R3 is what? 3/4 plus R4 whole squared. One equation, one variable. Pause the video and try to find R4 on your own. It will be 1 plus R4 squared minus 2R4 equals 1/16 plus 9/16 plus 2 times this 3/2R4 plus R4 squared. We can cancel R4 squared and then we can multiply. Let's simplify it. 1 minus 2R4. 1 plus 9, 10. 10/16 is 5/8. Plus 3/2R4. Now we multiply both sides by 8. 8 minus 16R4 equals 5 plus 4 times 3, 12R4. Now we take 5 to left hand side, this to right hand side. 8 minus 5, 3 equals 28R4. So if we divide R4 equals, if we divide by 28, 3/28. So the answer is choice D. Okay. If you had question or wanted to learn more things, feel free to send message to my WhatsApp number. Let me tell you also one homework. Homework. Here, the homework is what? You can consider this one and you can consider this common. You can consider this common tangent. Suppose O1, O2 is D. And try to find x, this common length of this common tangent, in terms of R1, R2. R1 is radius of this, R2 radius of this, and D. Okay, and this is helpful for these kinds of problems. You should consider common tangent. You should draw perpendiculars from centers and something like this. Okay, if you want to learn other ideas in geometry and other topics, feel free to send message to our WhatsApp number. AMC 12A 2023 problem 19. What is the product of all solutions to the equation this? Okay. Before exam, I told you ideas in logarithm. I released the video and I want to use those ideas. So because we have 23, 23, 23, I prefer to have 20, 23 in bases. So we can say log a to the base b equals 1 over log b to the base a. So this one, the first one, is 1 over, let me write with blue, 1 over log 7x to the base 2023. And we know this part, for example, we should pay attention because we have this in the base. 7x is greater than 0 and 7x is not 1. So because it is positive for all of them, for all bases, we can say x should be positive. Okay, x should be positive and x is not equal to 1 over 7, 1 over 289, and 1 over 2023. Now, because the base shouldn't be 1, times 1 over log 289x over 2023. And we know these logs are not 0. And we can reverse it, equals, and here 2023, it is not 1. It is a positive number that is not 1. Log 2023x to the base 2023. Okay, now we can consider reciprocal of these numbers. Log, it will be log 7x to the base 2023 times log 289, because it's 1 over this one, when 1 over a equals 1 over, for example, 1 over a times 1 over b equals 1 over c. We can conclude ab equals c. We are using this. 289x to the base 2023 equals log 2023x to the base 2023. Now it is so much better to work with. Why? Because all bases are equal. Now what can we say, for example, especially for right hand side? Here, because, for example, here I can write it as log. Because of the one idea in logarithm, we know that log a plus log c, if the bases are equal, equals log ac. So if you use that, it will be log 7 to the base 2023 plus log x to the base 2023 times log 289 to the base 2023 plus log x to the base 2023 equals log 2023 to the base 2023 plus log x to the base 2023. Okay, we call this one a, so we can say this one also will be a, this one will be a, this one is 1. So we can say a squared plus a times this plus this. Log 7 to the base 2023 plus, look, it will be what? Let me write log 7 to the base 2023 plus log 289 to the base 2023 plus product of them, log 7 to the base 2023 times log 289 to the base 2023 equals a plus 1. Now, here we know this part equals, because of the rules I told you before also, the exam, 2023, which is 1. So left hand side will be a squared plus a plus log 7 to the base 2023 times log 289 to the base 2023 equals a plus 1. Now we can subtract a from both sides, and then a squared will be what? Will be 1 minus log 7 to the base 2023 times log 289 to the base 20, 23. Now let's see the problem wants what? The problem says what is the product of all solutions to this equation. So here we know a is what? A is log x to the base 20, 23. So here a can be plus minus 1 minus log 7 base 2023 times log 289 base 2023. We call this square root t, so it will be plus minus t. And we know a is what? A is log x to the base 2023. So by the definition of logarithm, we know x equals 2023 to the base a. So it says product of all roots. So the answer is 2023. One answer of a is plus t times 2023. The other answer of a is negative t. So it will be 2023 because we have two answers. Look, a1 is plus t, a2 is negative t. So x1 is 2023. a1, x2 is 2023. a2, a1 is minus plus t, a2 is negative t. Product of roots will be 2023 to the t minus t, which is 0, 2023 to the power of 0, which is 1. So the answer will be which choice? Choice C. Okay, if you want to learn, I told exactly one day before the exam, I released a video and I said all properties of logarithm and we solved some problems. If you want to learn more, prepare for AME, next AMC or use some or other exams, feel free to send message to my WhatsApp number. AMC 12A 2023 problem 20 rows 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of a triangular array of integers are shown below, and each row after the first row is formed by placing a 1 at each end of the row, and each interior entry is 1 greater than the sum of the two numbers diagonally above it in the previous rows. Like for example, 1 plus 1 plus 1. So 1 plus 3, 4 plus 1, 1 more than this. You have 5 plus 5, 10 plus 1. Okay, what is the units digit of the sum of the 2023 numbers in the 2023rd row? Okay, I consider this one. For this problem, before the exam, one day before the exam, I said recursive sequence. I released a video. And we want to solve with that. I say a1 is 1. a2 is what? a2 is 2. So as you can see, here we have these two things. Now, for h3, this one has, we consider this one twice, here and here. This one twice, here and here. But for these three, one more. Okay? So it will be 2 times a2 plus 1. Because a2 is these two ones, we consider each of them twice, here and here, this one here and here. One more because of the mid one. And it will be 5. 2 times 2, 4, plus 1, 5. 1 plus 3, plus 1. For next one, a4. As you can see, the effect of these one is on these two things. So you say 2 times previous one, 2 times a3 plus, but because of these two elements, mid elements, we have plus 1, plus 2. Can you guess a5 is what? Again, if you consider this diagram, it will be 2a4 plus, we have 3 mid elements plus 3. Okay, this one, 2, 5, 12, and you can say, okay, it's 12. 2 times 24 plus 3, 27. 2 times 12, 24 plus 3, 27. 1 plus 7, 8, 19, 26, 27. Can you guess an is what? It's 2an minus 1 plus what? In nth row, how many mid elements do we have? Look, for example, for fifth row, we have 5 elements, 5 minus 2. So n minus 2, because we have 2 endpoints. Now, we want to find closed form. An is 2an minus 1 plus n minus 2. I want to find closed form. A1 is 1. For finding closed form, we should use, when we have, for example, an equals can minus 1 plus something. We should use telescoping rule and one more idea. The other idea is what we should define bn equals an over this constant to the n. Means what? Let me tell you. I define bn equals an over 2 to the n. Now, if I divide this one by 2 to the n, then I have an over 2 to the n equals 1, 2 will be cancelled here, an minus 1 over 2 to the n minus 1 plus n minus 2 over 2 to the n. Okay. Now here, I say if you want to write in terms of bn, it will be bn plus bn minus 1. bn equals bn minus 1 plus n minus 2 over 2 to the n. So now I can use telescoping rule. I consider bn minus 1 is n minus 2 over 2 to the n. And then bn minus 1 minus bn minus 2 equals n minus 3 over 2 to the n. 2b4 minus b3 is what then? 4 minus 2, 2 over 2 to the 4. b3 minus b2 is what? 3 minus 2, 1 over 2 cubed. If you write for next one, it will be 0 over 2 squared, so we can ignore that. Now, if you add all these terms, we have like this, so we need b2. So b2 is what? b2 is a2 over 2 squared. a2 is what? If you check here, a2 is 2. So it will be 2 over 2 squared, which is 1/2. Okay? Now let's consider this part is bn minus b2 equals 1 over 2 cubed plus 2 over 2 to the 4 plus n minus 3 over 2 to the n. Oh, sorry. It's 2 to the n minus 1. 2 to the n minus 1 plus n minus 2 over 2 to the n. Now for this one, we use triangular method. This is what I call it triangular method. Why? Because it will be similar to triangle. How? I say, okay, I write coefficient 1, 2, I write 1 from each of them. 1 over 2 third, 2 to the 3 to 1 over 2 to the n minus 1 plus 1 over 2 to the n. Then for second row, I start from 1 over 2 to the 4. 1 over 2 cube finished. Here, 1 over 2 to the 4. N minus 1 plus 1 over 2 to the n. Up to 1 over 2 to the n minus 1 plus 1 over 2 to the n. And for this one, last one, 1 over 2. Now let's calculate each row. For this one, we can add 1 over 2 to the n. Okay, so it will be 1 over 2 to the n minus 1 up to last one will be 1 over 2 squared. So 1 over 2 squared minus 1 over 2 to the n. By formula of geometric series, you can solve it. Before the exam I release video, I said these things completely. So this one will be what? 1 over 2 cubed minus 1 over 2 to the n. And up to last one, this one. 1 over 2 to the n minus 2 minus 1 over 2 to the n. And this one will be 1 over 2 to the n minus 1 minus 1 over 2 to the n. And we said b2 is what? Is 1/2. Yes. Here we've calculated that. So bn equals 1/2 plus this part 1 over 2 squared plus 1 over 2 cubed plus 1 over 2 to the n minus 1 minus how many 1 over 2 to the n do we have? From 3 to n minus 2 minus n minus 2 over 2 to the n. Okay, now if we add 1 over 2 to the n minus 1, we have 1 minus 1 over 2 to the n minus 1. Minus n minus 2 over 2 to the n. Now we said Bn equals An over 2 to the n by the definition of Bn. So An equals Bn times 2 to the n. So An equals this times 2 to the n will be 2 to the n minus 2 to the n over this is 2 minus this one is n minus 2. So it will be 2 to the n minus 2 minus n plus 2. So it will be 2 to the n minus n. Let's see, is it correct or not? Always check. Is it 2 to the 1 minus 1? Yes. Is it 2 to the 2 squared minus 2? Yes. Is it 2 cubed minus 3? Yes. Is it 2 to the 4 minus 4? Up to this part it's okay. Let's check also this one. Okay, so for 2023 it will be 2 to the 2023 minus 2023. It wants unit digit. So 2 to the 2023 minus 2023. So unit digit of 2 to the power of something is 2, 4, 8, 6, again 2, 4, 8, 6, and so on. Period is 4. So we should consider 2023 mod 4 is what? The remainder when divided by 4 is 23, last 2 digits, and I said also this one before the exam is 3 mod 4. Okay, so as it is 3 mod 4, it is like this one, 8. So mod 10, it will be 8 minus 3 mod. So 8 minus 3 will be what? Will be 5. So let's see the choices. So the answer will be is choice C. Okay, here we've used lots of things, lots of ideas in recursive sequence, number theory, combinatorics, I told, sequence, and something like that. If you want to learn how to solve also IMO problem, you can solve with recursive sequence and also AMC problems, AMI problems. If you want to solve those problems and work on them and get good at recursive sequence and other ideas, feel free to send message my WhatsApp number in the description. AMC 10A 2023 last problem, problem 25, and 12A 2023 problem 21. It says if A and B are vertices of a polyhedron, define the distance DAB to be the minimum number of edges of the polyhedron one must traverse in order to connect A and B. For example, if AB is an edge, like what? Like this one. Then the distance is 1. For example, it says if AC and CB are edges like this, and AB is not an edge, distance is 2. 1, 2. For example, A here and here, the distance is 3. Okay, for this one and this one, for A and D. Okay, now we know the distances, the distance in graphs. Let Q, R, and S be randomly chosen distinct vertices of a regular icosahedron, regular polyhedron made up of 20 equilateral triangles. What is the probability that DQR is greater than DRS? Okay, as you can see, Q and S are symmetric with respect to R. So we know the number of cases that this one is greater than this is equal to the number of cases that less than this. So one, we can say, okay, we divide by 2, but we cannot divide by 2 because in some cases they are equal. So the only thing that we should pay attention to find how many cases DQR equals DRS. Okay, without loss of generality, we can consider R is here. And if we want to consider cases, so it is first level. Let me call this one 1. The distance, these two, hang out from the vertex, this idea. So much important in graph. Hang out from a vertex, like this. Or we can consider this one as a root. And this one 3. So Q and R for this case can be from this part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 choose 2. Or we can say for Q we have 5 choose 2 times 2 or 5 times 4. For this one, for Q and S. QS. To be here, in second level, I gave 5 times 4. Q and S, 20, 20, 40. Now, if we want to calculate the probability, we say, okay, how many cases do we have for Q and S? So 5 points. 5 points, 1 point, 11. So 11 for Q, 10 for S. Then you subtract these cases, 40, you divide it by 2. Now it will be, because when you subtract these cases, the cases that are left are greater or less than. By symmetry, the number of cases that are greater equals number of cases that are less than, so we divide by 2 over number of all cases. 11 times 10 for Q and S. So, okay, let's simplify. Let's divide by 2. It will be 5. It will be 20. So 55 minus 20 will be 35 over 11 times 10. Now, okay, we can say 11 times 10. We cancel 5. It will be 2. It will be 7. So it will be what? It will be 7 over 22. Okay. So we have also some other ideas that are in graphs and important. And I can tell you many homeworks here. Homework 1, 2, related to hangouts from a vertex, related to AMC combination with Ramsey's theorem, and homework 2 with these probabilities that they have equal symmetry. Okay, if you want to know those homeworks or want to learn important ideas in combinatorics and probability, feel free to send message to my WhatsApp number in the descriptions. Okay, so we work on these problems. I told many ideas of this exam before the exam. And if you saw those videos, they were helpful. And if you want to learn more, as I said before, you can send message to my WhatsApp number. AMC 12A 2023. Problem 22. Let f be the unique function defined on the positive integer such that sigma for divisors of n, d times f of n over d is 1. And because f is defined on positive integer, so d should be positive integer because n is also positive integer and d. Here, for all positive integers n, so d should be positive. Where the sum is taken over all positive divisors of n. What is f of 2023? So f of 2023 is what? 7 times f of 7 times 17 squared. You should memorize this factorization. We want to see this word. So here, because it's just related to divisors, again, we should use one of the most useful ideas considering small examples. So here we can say if n is 1, d is 1 times f of 1 over 1 equals 1. So f of 1 is 1. Now let's consider 2. If n is 2, you will see what? 1 times f of 2 over 1 plus 2 times f of 2 over 2 is 1. So f of 2 plus 2 f of 1 is 1. F of 1 is what? Is 1. So f of 2 is 1 minus 2, negative 1. Okay. Now we consider, for example, like this one, if n is prime. P is prime. Let's see, we have what? P times f of p over p plus 1 times f of p over 1 equals 1. So it will be p times f of 1 plus 1 times f of p equals 1. F of 1 is 1. So f of p is 1 minus p. Okay. Now we found f of p for prime numbers. But this structure was also useful in SUMaC problem and in also other AMC problem. And when I release videos before the exam related to these things, And I said these small examples, when you consider prime factorization for each prime to the power of something, can be so much useful, because here we have only 717 squared, so we need only to calculate p squared. So if n is p squared, which p is again prime, let's see this what. So as we can see here, it is what? D times n over d is n. Okay, for example, when we have p here is 1, when it is 1 here is the product should be n. So I say if it is 1, it will be f of p squared. If it is p, it will be f of p, because p times p, p squared. If it is p squared, it will be f of 1. We have 3 divisors. When 3 positive divisors, when n is p squared, it is 1. You know f of 1 is 1. F of p is 1 minus p. So we want to find f of p squared. F of p squared then will be what? Will be 1 minus p times 1 minus p minus p squared. So if you expand, it will be 1 minus p plus p squared minus p squared. It will be cancelled. And we will see again f of p squared is also 1 minus p. Probably f of p to the power of any number is 1 minus p, and we can easily prove like this by induction. But we don't need, because we want to find 2023. The next thing we should calculate is pq, then pq squared. Okay. So now let's consider n is pq and q are distinct primes. We have 4 divisors. So if we check 1 times f of pq plus p times f of q plus q times f of p plus pq times f of 1 equals 1. F of 1 is what? 1. F of p, we proved it is 1 minus p. F of q, we proved it is 1 minus q. So f of pq will be what? Will be 1 minus p times 1 minus q times 1 minus p minus pq. So it will be what? It will be 1 minus p plus pq minus q plus pq minus pq. So we can cancel these two things. So we can say it is equal to 1 minus p, 1 minus q. Right? 1 minus q minus p plus pq. Okay. So we found f of pq equals 1 minus p times 1 minus q. Probably f of p squared q is also 1 minus p times 1 minus q. And let's prove this. F of p squared q. It has 6 divisors. It will be what? Let's consider n equals p squared q. And we can prove it by induction for any things that the power is not important. So f of and pq are distinct again primes. Prime numbers. So 1 times f of p squared q plus p times f of pq plus p squared times f of q plus q times f of p squared plus pq times f of p plus p squared q times f of 1 is 1. It should have 6 divisors, 6 parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. We know f of pq is 1 minus p times 1 minus q. F of q is 1 minus q. F of p squared is 1 minus p. F of p is 1 minus p. And f of 1 is 1. So now we want to find f of p squared q. It is equal to 1 minus p times 1 minus p times 1 minus q minus p squared times 1 minus q minus q times 1 minus p minus pq times 1 minus p minus p squared q. Okay. Now let's simplify as much as we can. Here it will be 1 minus p minus q plus pq. So it will be 1 minus p plus p squared plus pq minus p squared q minus p squared plus p squared q minus q plus pq minus pq plus p squared q minus p squared q. So let's simplify. We can cancel these two things. We can cancel these two things. P squared q, p squared q. We can cancel p squared. So what is left? 1 minus p plus pq minus q, which will be again 1 minus p times 1 minus q. Okay, so now f of 2023 by this formula is what? F of 2023, which is f of 7 times 17 squared, is 1 minus 7 times 1 minus 17. So it is negative 6 times negative 16. So it will be 96. So the answer is choice B. Okay. If you want to solve more problems, because this idea is so much powerful, you can solve also IMO problems, IMO last IMO. If you want to work on those problems, feel free to send message to my WhatsApp number in the descriptions. It's so much important to get good at considering small examples. AMC 12A 2023, problem 23. How many ordered pairs of positive real numbers AB satisfy the equation? This. So here I can factor from 2. I divide both sides by 2. So it will be 1 plus 2a, 1 plus b, 2a plus b equals 16ab. Now, here because we have only 2a, 2a, and here we have 2a, I define 2a. I use changing variable and define it as c. 1 plus c, 1 plus b, and then c plus b equals 8bc. So this one is a famous problem, and you can solve it because they are real numbers, positive real numbers. We can use AMGM. We know x plus y over 2. If x and y are positive real numbers, greater than equal root xy. Okay, or we can say x plus y is greater than equal to root xy, and the proof is so much easier. And we call it AMGM when we have two variables. For n variables also it is correct. So 1 plus c is greater than, by using this one, 2 root c. 1 plus b is greater than equal to root b. And equality holds when x equals y. And here c plus b is greater than equal to root bc. Now let's consider this part as, for example, t. If we multiply, left side will be t, right side will be 8bc. And we know t equals 8bc. So we can understand that all of them should be equal. So 1 equals, because equality holds when x equals y. So here 1 equals c, here 1 equals b, here b equals c. So we have one answer, b equals c equals 1. It means what? B equals c equals 1 means b equals 1. Because we have this, and c is what? 2a. So a is c half. So a is 1 half. Let's check it to make sure is it correct or not. 1 plus 2a is 1 plus 1, 2 times. 2 plus 2b, 2b is 2 plus 2, 4. 2a is 1 plus 1, 2 equals 32 times 1 half, which is 16 times 1. So 2 times 4, 8 times 2, 16. So we have only one answer. A is 1 half in positive real numbers, and b is 1 here. Problem says positive real numbers, so the answer is choice B. If you want to learn more ideas in inequalities, AMGM, QM, AMGM, HM, Cauchy-Schwarz, And also, for example, homogenization, IMO problems, USUMO problems that related to inequality. If you want to learn those ideas in algebra, feel free to send message my WhatsApp number in the description. AMC 12A 2023 says let K be the number of sequences A1, A2, and so on up to AN, such that n is a positive integer less than or equal to 10. Each AI is a subset of 1 to 10, and AI minus 1 is a subset of AI, or each I between 2 to n, inclusive. For example, null set 57257, 257, 5679 is one such sequence with n5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. It says what is the remainder when k is divided by 10? Okay, so again we should use casework. For this. How? And we should use casework. And let me tell you another idea that I said one day before AMC 10 2023 or AMC 12A 2023. Double counting that. Here again, it's useful, and you have problems of AMI and other AMCs that can be solved with this idea. Okay, so homework from AMC and also from AMI, we have problems with the same idea. Now here we consider first n is 1. Okay, if n is 1, how many cases are there? You have a1, so you have 2 to the 10. Okay, we can have also null set and also other things. If we consider a2, a1 is subset of a2. Okay, and all of them are subsets of 1 to 10. So double counting means what? Instead of considering subsets, for 2 you can also solve it with considering subsets, but from 3 it will be hard. I say, okay, 1 has how many? For first one, 1 had how many cases? 2 cases. Check cross. For this one, each element, cross cross, check check, cross check, and cross cross. So 3 cases for each element. So it will be what? 3 to the 10. Now for n3. A1 is a subset of A2, subset of A3. So we can start from here. Check, cross check, check, cross cross check, cross cross cross. 4 to the 10. And similarly for n4 you can use the same thing. For AK in general, when we have A2 to AK, it will be what? If we start from here, one case, start from here, start from A3, the first check is here, because the first check calls that other elements to the right side of that should be checked. So, and this one. So K cases here, plus 1, K plus 1. K plus 1 to the number of elements here is 10. So it says number of elements should be less than or equal to 10. So it will be 2 to the 10 plus 3 to the 10. 2, 11 to the 10, last case. As we have 10 subsets. And it says remainder when divided by 10. So mod 10, 2 to the 10, let me write all of them. 3 to the 10, 4 to the 10, 5 to the 10, 6 to the 10, 7 to the 10, 8 to the 10, 9 to the 10, 10 to the 10, 11 to the 10. So, if we want to consider mod 10, let's consider elements one by one. For example, 11 to the 10 is 1, 10 to the 10 is 0, 5 to the 10 is 5, because 5 to the power of anything will be 5, last digit. Here it will be 6. For 9, it will be what? 9, 1. 9, 1. The period is 2. As it is 9 to the even number, it will be 1. For 2, we have 2, 4, 8, 6. The period is 4. If we check again, 2, 4, 8, 6. 10 divided by 4 is 2. So it will be similar to 4. For 3, we have 3, 9, 7, 1. Again, 3. The period is 4. So again, it's like 3 squared, 9. What about 4? For 4, we have 4, 16, 24, 6. Period is 2. It will be 6. For 7, we have 7, 49, 3, 1. Again, 7. The period is 4. So it will be like second one, it's 9. 8, we have 4, 2, 6, 8, and so on. The period is 4. So 8 squared is 4. Now, it will be what? 4 plus 9, 13, 3. Because we should consider mod 3. 3 plus 6, 9 plus 5, 14, 4 plus 6, 10, 0. 9 plus 4, 13, 3 plus 2, 5. So, the answer will be choice C, because here, if you add all of them, it will be 5 mod 10. Okay. If you want to solve more problems like this, for example, you can solve this one. Sigma A union B, A and B are subsets of 1 to n. Before exam, exactly 1 day before exam, I said all these ideas. And you could use that and solve these problems exactly with the same idea. And 1 day before exam, I released a video in combinatorics. If you want to learn other important ideas, and I said also homework from Amy that was similar. If you want to learn important ideas in combinatorics and other topics that are used for AMC, Amy, USUMO, IMO, feel free to send message to our WhatsApp number in the description. AMC 12A 2023, last problem 25. There is a unique sequence of integers a1, a2, a3 to a2023 such that tangent 2023x equals a1, tangent x, a3, tangent cube x plus a5 tangent to the tangent x to the 5 plus 2 a2023 tangent x to the 2023 all over 1 plus a2 tangent x squared plus a4 tan to the 4 plus 2 a2020 tan 2020 x. Whenever tan 2023 x is defined, means it is not infinity. For example, in general, tan alpha, if you consider 2023 x as alpha, for alpha pi over 2 plus pi k, it is undefined. Okay, because sine will be 0. We know cos will be 0. Tan equals sine over cos. Okay. One important idea and basic idea, we want to use this tan equals sine alpha over cos alpha. And when you have something like these, complex numbers are so much helpful. We want to see for tan n to the x, we have what? Here we know e to the I alpha, again polar form, is what? It's cosine alpha plus I sine alpha. Now, if you raise to the power of n, we have e to the in alpha, and we can write it in two ways. One way is to write it as cosine alpha plus I sine alpha to the n, or also we can say same thing. Instead of alpha, we write n alpha, so it will be cosine n alpha plus I sine n alpha. Okay, now we want to find, for example, nx or n alpha equals cosine nx plus I sine nx. And we want to solve it for n 2023 at the end. We will replace n 2023. Now cosine x is what? Sine nx is what? And cosine nx. It is real part of this side. Let's calculate left hand side. it will be n choose 0. Suppose we don't have any I sine x, it will be cosine x to the n. Plus n choose 1, it will be cosine n minus 1x. And we can write I here, sine x. Next one, it will be n choose 2, but I squared will be negative 1. So it will be n choose 2 cosine n minus 2x and sine squared x. Next one will be what? N choose 3 will be what? Will be I cubed. I squared is negative 1, so it's negative I. N choose 3 cosine n minus 3x sine x cubed. Next one, I to the 4 will be 1 plus n choose 4 cos n minus 4x sine x to the 4 sine x to the 4 and so on. Next one will be what? Again, we have this repetition. So look, the period of sines related to I is 4. Again, like this one, we have same thing, and so on. Okay, now we want to calculate what tan nx. So if you want, at first, we know cosine nx equals real part of these things. Cosine nx will be n choose 0 cosine nx minus n choose 2 cosine n minus 2x sine squared x plus n choose 4 cosine n minus 4x sine 4x. The sign will be alternatively plus and minus. Sine nx will be what? It will be imaginary part. So it will be what? It will be n choose 1 cosine n minus 1x sine x. And here minus n choose 3 cosine n minus 3x sine 3x plus n choose 5 cosine here it was n minus 4. Let me okay. N minus 5x sine 5x. And so on. Again, signs are alternatively plus and minus. So here we want to find tan nx. Tan nx will be what? Will be sine nx over cos nx, which will be n choose 1. So let me copy these parts. So we don't need to write them again. Okay, the numerator and this is for our denominator. Okay. Let me show this one. Okay, now let's compare this with what? The problem says what? A2023 is what? Last coefficient. Okay, let's copy and paste this one here. Okay. So as you can see, for example, this one, we should write it in this form, tan x. So we should divide both numerator and the first one is n choose 1 and this one tan cubed. So we should divide both numerator and denominator because here it is 1 by cosine x to the n. Okay, so let's divide it first. So it will be n choose 1 cosine x to the n. It will be tan x minus n choose 3 tan, when we divide by this, okay, tan x cubed plus n choose 5 tan x to the 5 and so on all over. This one will be 1 minus n choose 2 tan squared x plus n choose 4, tan x to the 4, and so on. Okay, now let's compare these two things. We will see, okay, it's correct. For example, A2 is negative n choose 2. Here, last part is what? A2023 is coefficient of last one. So, n we know is 2023. So it's 2023. As you can see, for example, for 5, it is n choose 5. So for 2023, it is n choose 2023, and here n is 2023. So A2023 is 2023. Choose 2023, but we should see it is minus or plus. For 1, it is plus. For 3, it is minus. For 5, it is plus. So for 7, it is minus. Now we can consider if mod 4, it is 1, it is plus. If mod 4, it is 3, it is minus. So 2023 mod 4 is what? 2023 mod 4 is 3. So it is minus. So we have minus. So it will be minus 1. So the answer will be with choice, this one. Okay, so here we've used this part in complex numbers. Also in AMC 2022. We had a similar problem, but in geometry. And you can do that one as homework. If you want to know exact problem is what, send message to my WhatsApp number. And also, like this exam, we can work on important ideas before any other exam, like AMC 1012B, or AME 12, or USUMO, or USHAMO, or IMO, any math exam. We can work on background ideas, we can work on past papers, and if we work on important ideas that are repeated every year, then in the upcoming year you will see that idea. Okay, so if you want to work on those important problems, combinatorics, algebra, number theory, and geometry, feel free to send message to our WhatsApp number in the description.